somewhere you have to get started. And so we're just helping them to get started. They'll have to come up with their own way to do it. You know, whether they get a volunteer from the landlord group, or there's a possibility that there is a program on the internet. Each of the landlords could have their own password, so they could get in it and update the information themselves. Again, it's just all in the beginning.
The real purpose of this is get the dialogue started. Right now, there's no dialogue, and that's what this is all about, is to start getting people to talk and to share information, exchange information. What we found out is that you've got cities around us, Blytheville, Haytide, Caruthersville, have rental inspection programs. We don't have a rental inspection program ordinance within this city. And so they'll do rental inspections in those other cities. These people get kicked out of these rental properties, and they end up in Kennett, and then there's no dialogue or exchange of information, just as Diane mentioned at the beginning, being able to exchange information where, you had to get rid of the guy because he didn't pay his rent. He goes over to Kenny, Kenny has no idea, and then Kenny's got the same problem 6 months down the road. So this is all about getting the folks that own properties, rental properties together so that they get a dialogue going, and it'll really be up to them. I mean, there are programs out there that the police department can be actively involved in, and this is going to be up to this community group to decide what direction they want to go with that.
I'd like to see how that can associate with the police department, because most of these characters that you're talking about, they're the ones that's probably your number one customers on weekends and first of the month and middle of the month.
There's a program called crime-free multi-housing program. And what that does is that partners the landlords in the community with the police department. We help facilitate running background checks on prospective tenants and all those kinds of things, and able to give them the information that they need to make an informed decision as to whether they want to rent properties to these. And these are programs that are all over the country.
Well,
We had one in Brigham City when I was the chief there, crime-free multi-housing program, and we eliminated a lot of gang activity and a lot of drug problems in rental properties in the community. So that's one option that's out there.
is there any way it can run the opposite direction, such as a tenant does not have fire alarms, smoke alarms, smoke detectors, things like that, and those are to be provided? Is there a way that it could be the tenant could come to the organization, or the organization itself could set guidelines to help with this type of problem?
Oh, that's possible.
If they have rental inspection before the change in tenant, then all of those things should be brought up to date.
Ms. Reisner from the fire department, building code enforcement side, and I think maybe address part of what your concern sounds like it is. It can be a positive thing too, because it can be a quality of life issue that would help renters as well. Making sure that what they're moving into in this one area is minimal standard housing. Does it have proper heating? Does it have proper water and sewer in it? Is it safe for fire alarm inspection? I mean, it would involve, and I'm just thinking it could involve all the departments, but it's not necessarily just to keep people out. I'm looking on the other side, it could be a positive thing for quality of life for those renters as well. And I haven't had any discussion with you on it, but I mean, it's just weird. Some of us have talked about this in the past.
I know from the fire department experience and from the police department experience, there are renters living in substandard housing in this community, or really poor. And so it's a positive on both sides. So.
Just didn't want you all here and talk on the street and you didn't really know what it was all about. So we will report as we go along, and hopefully it will all be positive. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. We're gonna go ahead and skip item B. We'll move into C. Mr. Robertson?
Mr. Mayor, members Council. My name is John Robertson. Appreciate the opportunity that you've given me to speak to you tonight. I would like to thank all of you for your service to the community. I've been coming to council meetings for several months now and made some observations. My first is that every elected official here and every employee has Kennett's best interest at heart. I truly believe that, as I believe past councils and past mayors have also been. There's no agendas here. There's differences of opinion, and there should be. That's what a council is for. That's what a government is for. And my second observation is that under our present system of council-mayor government, there is no way one person, one committee, one mayor can know all the facts of this city. It has grown too large, in my opinion, for that system. I think we need to look at moving forward into the 21st century, just as you're looking at moving your records to computer systems, tablets, monitors. I think our form of government should move. I have done some research on this, the Missouri Municipal League. You'll find some copies of emails in there with websites. All this information I've given you is available online. I'm not an authority on it, but I truly believe I have discovered that what I think would be best for the city of Kennett is a council city manager form of government. Under Missouri statute now, a third-class city, which we are, could choose to vote in this form of government. You would elect one councilman from each ward and 2 councilmen at large. That would be 7 total on the council. From that 7, you would elect the mayor, mayor pro tem, which would have the same vote as any other councilman, no more power. The mayor would conduct the meeting. The primary purpose of that council would be to set policy, approve the budget, all things concerning the city, but your main focus would be to hire a city manager who would be in charge of the day-to-day operation of the city government. His duties would be set in the statute of the state of Missouri. The duties are included in this information I gave you. There's also some pros and cons to city manager. I think the pros more than offset the cons. There's some, everybody hearing this, some people will say, well, we had that. No, we had a city administrator who is set by city ordinance, which our city ordinance states that the city administrator shall be the administrative assistant to the mayor. Under city manager, if you look at these responsibilities set by statute, the city manager takes care of the business. The department heads would report to him. When they have a problem, they don't have to try to find 3 committee members or the whole council. They can go to one man and probably get a determination. Someone coming to the city wants to buy 10 acres, put in a 50,000 square foot building, hire 50 people. He walks into City Hall. Well, Jake's not a full-time mayor. And I don't blame him for not being here 8 hours a day. Crystal tells him, well, the mayor's not here, but John Lott's right across the hall. He goes over and talks to John. He says, well, you've told me about building codes and fire restrictions, but I'm gonna need some utilities. Oh, well, you need to go down to City Light and Water, talk to Dave Wilkins. Goes down there. He finishes, he says, I'm gonna need some storm drainage and roads. Well, you need to see Randy Carter. He goes to Randy Carter, he gets that, and he says, now, do you think there's any tax incentives for this? Well, you probably need to talk to our chamber director who does economic development, but we don't have one right now. Now, would you want to locate here? But if we had a city manager, he would be here on the job, or Crystal would know where he was at, and he could talk to somebody like that. That's my whole point. I'm not criticizing any member of the council. I'm criticizing the system. I think our city has grown to too many employees, too much money, which we think it's 6 million, maybe 8 million. We don't know how much sales tax we're gonna get in. You need somebody on a daily basis that is educated, trained in public administration, finance, and hopefully public relations to handle our business. Now, because I'm not an authority, what I'm really asking you to do tonight, I talked to Doyle Privet, who's on the Board of Regents at CMO. He talked to the College of Business Innovation that's in here, I forget what the name, entrepreneurship. They are willing to come down, talk to the council, the mayor, committee, however you want to do it, and do a study to see if we would benefit from this type of system, and probably if we can afford it, and how efficient it would be. Now, I believe it would work, but I also believe we need to get a more authoritative source and an arm's length source to do a study for us. And I would like to ask you to empower the mayor to contact this man at CMO, to come down and talk to you and see what a study would entail. I think they would do it. It would be very little or no cost. You not have to pay the travel expenses. I think they're willing to do this because that's what they do at the university. It's funded by public tax dollars. And I think we would benefit from it. I really believe we're at a crossroads in our community. We can't judge what's in the past. We've got to decide where we're going in the future, and I think this is our future. And I would like for y'all to take action and at least get these people down here, let them look, listen to what they've got to say, and see if we can't benefit from it. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we have the mayor follow up on that recommendation.
Second.
Discussion. I'm more than happy to.
So we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
I think it's a follow-up. We don't have a choice. We need to progress. It's a big business we run, and we run it part-time, and that's next to impossible to do efficiently. So I'm very much in favor.
And this is coming from citizens. This is not coming from council. It's coming from citizens. The outside is looking in and seeing that the improvements that could be made potentially.
Agreed.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. We'll contact tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
And there was a lot of time and work, I could tell with the pages of information you provide to myself and the council. All right. Number 10, approval of Board of Public Works, abstract of accounts payable, month of August. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Miscellaneous.
I have one question I guess for Larry. Did you guys talk about we talked about the reconsidering the overtime pay for police officers? Did the police committee talk about that, didn't he?
We discussed it some, but we need to discuss that on full council.
We don't have all the information we need to, still waiting on working school a little bit closer, try to come up with hopefully more information. About the council.
Just don't want to let that drop, I think.
No, we're not gonna let it drop,
We're
we'll
not
keep
gonna
working
let it
on
drop.
it, and hopefully we'll have more information.
Fair enough. Anything else?
Has anyone, but I have received a lot of comments from the community about the increase in the police presence that's been noted. Has anyone else heard any from their community about that?
Talked to a gentleman yesterday about that.
Positive?
Yes.
Mine was positive. I mean, it's notable and positive what I'm hearing.
And I'm getting a lot of positive information about the looks of our city.
Yes.
So,
There's actually people, when they were painting the fire hydrants, people actually stopped and said, "It's looking good, thank you." Comments like that. Who would ever thought that we would get comments about just painting our fire hydrants?
anything else?
I have it's just it's a statement. I was coming down Washington Monday, headed east. There was a fellow walking his dog. Some type of, was a pit bull, it must have been a mix, pit bull and a boxer. But he had a block chained to that dog, walking the dog. And the dog dragging the block.
Did you say anything?
He's bigger than me.
The dog was bigger than you.
No, but I was going to talk to Tina about that. It's just, you know, mistreating animals,
It's unusual, usually when they train them, wanna make them stronger, they have them drag a heavy chain or something like that.
Cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or tow a car or something like that.
Didn't have access, he found a block, didn't he?
maybe he didn't have a car.
Yeah, it's,
You don't know where he got the block either.
Is there anything that you need to do, or just inform us? Okay. Anything else?
Can't get
What?
Mr. Gamble back there. So,
I thought you was raising your hand.
Oh, meeting adjourned, I'm kidding.